Well, here's this person here, Maya, who I also follow. She put or he, I don't know, put together a 1-minute compilation from Rachel Maddow's show from March 9th. And so let's just enjoy it, shall we?
Russia, Vladimir Putin, Russia, hates Russia, Putin, Russia's Russia, Russian, Moscow, Russian, pro-Russian, the Russians, Moscow, Russia, Putin, Russia against us, Russians, Russia against the U.S., the Russians, Russian government scheme, the Russians, Vladimir Putin, Russia, Putin and Russia, Moscow, Russia, the Russians, Russia, Putin, Russia, the Soviet Empire, the second of the 20th century's great evils, communism, Russia, assault by Russia,
Putin despises the West in general and the United States in particular, the Soviet Empire. Russia, they're the adversary. They want to bring us down, the Soviet Union.
Russia.
Undermine the West, Soviet communists on the left.
Russia. That does it for us tonight. We will see you again tomorrow.
Was that from one show?
One show. That's from one show. You know, if you play it backwards, it's the same bullshit. And this is also accurate footage from her writer's room meetings.
I believe MSNBC hasn't mentioned Yemen in a year. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, 2 years, I think, almost.
2 years.
By the way, they flagged this video on YouTube because people from the McResistance were calling it porn.
Oh, my God. Well, it did make me a little bit.
That is.
I got a little bit hard.
There's a lot of people who jerk off to that. I'm just saying.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's the only thing that's good for.
Yeah.
When
Chris Hayes is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When I was watching this, I kept pretending in my head that she was playing Pictionary, and she was just really bad at it the whole time.
She's trying to get him to say Soviet Union. Why do you keep saying Russia?
They keep saying Soviet
Russia.
I love that they throw communism in there.
Yeah, communism.
It's like, what the fuck? Who keeps... Quit throwing up hammer and sickles. It's not fucking communism.
They haven't been communists for 20 fucking years.
Jesus Christ.
It's like the Beatles' Revolution #9 for boring people.
I'm just glad I finally have new intro music. Been waiting.
Okay, I think that's all the jokes I have for that.
Happy birthday, FBI.
She is a painful human being to watch, and she used to actually do somewhat, mainstream news that was somewhat decent.
No, she was pretty good. I used to like watching Rachel Maddow's show, and then Trump happened, or no, it wasn't before Trump. It was Hillary Clinton and Bernie happened, and that's when her lizard brain just went out to fucking lunch. Because she was given an order not to cover Bernie Sanders, and she fucking followed it. The guy who did it was Ed Schultz, and he got fired, okay? So we know that for a fact. And we know that when Chris Hayes was doing shows showing Trump's empty podium, that he was being ordered to do that, and he fucking did it for 30 grand a day. And yes, I would fucking do it too, but I'm not doing it now.
Can you imagine never covering Yemen, but then crying over the Russian St. Petersburg?
She literally cried.
Troll factory. You're crying over fake trolls online, but you just ignore actually the biggest massacre in the world right now.
Were they actual like physical trolls? Like,
yes.
Or were they? Because I would cry about that if that was real.
Look at her face.
So people were on this. So this was somebody had tweeted this out, and people were like, "What's the big deal? She's an expert on Russia." And Maya had to say back, Maya said, a top-rated daily news show has spent close to 2 years now devoting a majority of its airtime to proof by assertion arguments, promoting a xenophobic conspiracy theory calculated to benefit a political party. Nothing amiss there, right? That's exactly what's fucking happening. And here's the latest. Did you just hear the latest Rachel Maddow conspiracy theory?
Oh, right.
The latest conspiracy theory from Rachel Maddow that the White House edited out a key question from a Trump-Putin press conference turns out to be false, as Philip Bump of the Washington Post shows that the error came from a live video-audio switch issue. Will she correct it? So here, by the way, he says the irony of Maddow's now debunked claim is that it was the centerpiece of a lengthy segment that culminated in her accusing Trump and the Russians of, quote, deliberately trafficking in unreality. An apt description of her own Russiagate coverage. She is what she claims to be hating. She's exactly that thing. And that happens to a lot of people, and that's what she is. And she doesn't give a fuck. Her Manhattan apartment's worth about $80 million. She doesn't give a fuck. So here's her original tweet. It says, the White House edits video to remove question. And the question was, did you want President Trump to win? And they thought that got edited out. It didn't. It was. She went fucking crazy about it. They edited that question out. It wasn't. And so look how many tweets they had. 18,000 tweets, right? So then they corrected it after everyone told you got it fucking wrong, you maniac. She goes, we've updated the text on our A-block video clip from last night. She doesn't say what they updated or what they did or what they got it fucking wrong. But look how many retweets that got. That got 42 retweets. So the lie travels around the world before the truth puts its pants on. And that's exactly what that is.
Well, unfortunately, Democracy Now! Covered the same thing.
Exactly.
And they cut it in half, where he said, did you want Trump to win? And did any of your officials go to help him? And obviously, Putin just answered the first part of the question and not the end. And both Democracy Now! And they just covered it as if he was like, yep, we did.
And you know,
smoking gun.
And Putin is also on record as saying he wanted Barack Obama to win over Mitt Romney, right? This is not anything new, but they're doing that to make it look like that. And I just want to tip of the hat to Caleb Hull. He's the one who caught that. Misleading story, 18 retweets. Correction, 40 retweets. Fantastic.
I didn't know this. I wouldn't have come here if I thought this show was going to be such a bummer.
That's why there's alcohol, Dave.
Give me a beer.
Yeah, we need more liquor.
So here's someone named, and what does that do when Rachel Maddow does all that stuff and says Rachel, and it's and here's someone named Carol Cadwalder, and she writes for The Guardian, and she's got 172,000 followers, and she tweeted out, unbelievable, Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs changes its profile photo to free Maria Butina. This is war.
That's not war.
She goes, you realize this, right? I mean, it's a troll war, but it's still war.
No war.
It's what war looks like now. No, that's not what fucking war looks like now.
Why did anybody send her a picture of a bunch of fucking dead kids in Yemen and go, actually, that's what war looks like?
That's what war looks like. Not a free Butina fucking meme.
Jesus Christ.
So
you realize that, right?
So basically what she's saying is, I know it's not really war, but can't we just pretend it's war so we can have a real fucking war? I want a real fucking war so much. That's what that is. And that's what Rachel Maddow wants, too. And by the way, if you think Russia isn't resonating with America, you would be so fucking right. Because they just did a poll. That's a fucking Gallup poll. Less than 1% of Americans believe Russia is a top problem. Less than 1% of fucking... That's from a Gallup poll. That's not Jagoff Jimmy Dore saying it. But I've been saying that since it started, that no one gives a shit about this. Nobody in the real world. People give a fuck about how am I going to pay for my health care? How am I going to get a better fucking wage? How am I going to send my kids to college? And how am I going to pay my fucking mortgage? I'm being gentrified out of this neighborhood. That's what people fucking care about in America. Maybe devote your newscast to that shit. There it is. Anybody? I'll throw it over to my...
Well, you know what's ironic is that out of the percentage of people that care, they are all in the 1%. Also.
Yeah! Thanks for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are, you're probably not. It only takes a second to check. And then you have to ring that bell so they send you a notification when we drop a new video. Otherwise, they won't tell you when we drop new videos. And if you like our show, please help support it. Become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week, and we give a live stream. We do a live stream every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time when you could ask us questions and we answer them back. Thanks for your support.